Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. We're flying to Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania. My wife and I visited Latvia and Estonia in January, and somewhere around that time a friend of mine asked whether we wanted to join for a concert of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard in Vilnius. Well, as I've already visited both the other Baltic states, I thought it was a great idea to join them. So arrived in Vilnius, Lithuania. First went to get some groceries, went to Maxima and the bread section, but also all of the drinks. It was really amazing. It's insane always. I love visiting these supermarkets when I'm abroad to see what kind of things they have. And then as I arrived as one of the earliest ones, I walked around a bit, and then the others arrived a bit later as they were flying from Eindhoven. We first had dinner at Augustin, and it was really the best dinner we had in Vilnius. And also, quite interestingly, they earned some kind of a Michelin right when we were there. So not the star, but I think the gourmand. All kinds of different dishes, from vegetarian to fish-based to meat-based dishes. So it was a good start of the holiday. We were there with 11 people, most of my friends from Rotterdam. Most of them flew in from Eindhoven, but I took a flight from Schiphol, as that's a bit easier for me. After the dinner, we walked around a bit and then visited big baras. We heard there's karaoke, and of course, if you're with 11 people, what's better than playing some pool and doing some karaoke? I didn't know what to expect really from Lithuania. I did expect maybe it's a bit similar to Estonia and Latvia, but in a way it's at least compared to what I noticed in Estonia and Latvia, it's much more crowded, it's a bit more alive, a bit more vivid. So overall, really nice, and had a lot of fun there at this very techy bar. After that, most of us went back home because it was already late. And then the next day, we went to the gym. So we went to Lemon Gym, and I think this is definitely a life hack for everyone. When you're abroad, just always ask if you can do a trial for the gym, if you can just try it for a day. And most of the time they're fine with it. It's great because you can just use all of the amenities, and a lot of times, just like this gym had, it had a sauna. So yeah, you can exercise a bit, and also after that we used the sauna. Did this with 3 friends, exercised a bit, and then we went to Mon. M-O-N. Really great pastries, and had a really nice coffee there actually. And they had a super cheese, which is like this very cheesy toast, which I definitely recommend. So if you're in Vilnius, definitely visit Mon. After that, we walked around a bit in the city center. Again, it looked really fancy, and yeah, much more expensive cars and a lot of rich people, I'd say. And that's also because I think there's a lot of these crypto-based companies here in Lithuania. We walked to a cathedral, and then after that we also walked to the Gediminas castle. So this was on a Thursday. We all arrived on Wednesday, and this is what we did on a Thursday. Walked all the way up, had this really amazing view of Vilnius. So this is the Gediminas tower that we visited, and it's visible from many spots in the old town, and it's supposedly portrayed to be in numerous works of art. After that, we went to a cathedral, the Vilnius Cathedral. Also looked really amazing. After visiting the cathedral, we walked around a little bit. Some of us went home, others went to do something else. And all over in Vilnius, it's quite funny how you have all of these very fancy cars. The weather actually started pretty okay, but then on a Thursday evening, suddenly the rain came out. Then we visited the Thai house restaurant for some Thai food. It was really not that great. Went to a supermarket again to look for some pastries. And the boys actually looked for some face masks because we're at that age right now. And also, kind of like Estonia, there's all of these very fancy robots. Got my ice cream, and then what we did is we went to the Lukiškių prison. So I hope I pronounced it correctly. So 3 friends of ours, they actually went all 3 days to the King Gizzard concert. Well, we decided to do the prison tour. So they give these prison tours, which is actually the concert is held at this prison, but then you can now look inside. Overall, not something I would recommend. They only showed like 3-4 things. You were not really allowed to take any photos, and it was 2 hours. It was in the evening, so I also didn't understand why they did this tour in the evening or even in the night. So the tour started at like 10:30 after the concert, and I think it ended at 12:30. And then this was at the end where Mr. Putin was in a jail, of course, because Lithuania is of course very much friends with Ukraine and anti-Russia. So this is on a Saturday morning, going for a run, because in about 2 to 3 weeks I have a 300-kilometer bike ride in the Netherlands that I'm joining. I had to make sure that my condition is still alive, and this is the next best thing next to cycling. So I went for a run, about 8k, super nice weather, and did a run next to the Neris river. And it's always nice, I think, going for a run in a new city that you're still discovering, because you can just see a lot. Same counts for like a bike. And then on the run, I later on saw these bars, so like an outside gym that I knew that if I'm going past that later, I'll also put in a little bit of exercise. That is very cool climbing wall, like a bouldering wall outside with like sand on the bottom. So I did a bit of exercise. So in total, as I said already, I think first I did about 8 kilometers run. Then I did a bit of exercise for like 15 to 20 minutes, some dips, some pull-ups, etc. And then after that, did another 2.5k back to the hotel or the Airbnb that I booked. Overall, the prices in Vilnius in Lithuania were okay. I think about 9 or 8/10 of the price in the Netherlands, but not like very cheap. So I think also I had this with the holiday in Estonia and Latvia. Although it's really great, it's not like, one of those holidays when you go to Albania and it's extremely cheap. Again, like the gold car you saw earlier, and then we had this dinner at Pirmas blynas. They have these very delicious pancakes actually, and it's actually located in this very old cathedral. So definitely also another recommendation next to Mon. After that, most of us, we went to Uzupis. And Uzupis is this like the smallest district in Vilnius, and it's separated from the old town by this Vilnele river. And it was actually on the 1st of April 1997 sarcastically declared independent by some of the residents. And now it's some kind of like a very artsy and fancy neighborhood. got a coffee there at this shop, which had a lot of like running and marathon inspired things. The coffee was pretty decent, had a filter there, and then after that we went to the park nearby. So we went for an actual hike with some of our friends, not really into that, so they decided not to join us on the rest of the hike, but the others, we decided to go all the way to the top and visit the 3 crosses. But also because some of us, we came prepared, we had our Gore-Tex shoes on, and the others were dressed way too fancy, but that's what happens when you're with a big group of guys. We'll all have different ways of going about. But again, it's quite amazing that you have a capital, Vilnius, where you have all of these amazing parks, and especially if the weather is really great, it's super nice to walk there, and there's a lot to see. So I myself stayed from Wednesday to until Saturday, so about 3-4 days, whereas the others mostly they stayed until the Monday. But I think 3 or 4 days for Vilnius is more than enough. But I think even spending a week should be doable, and you can do enough things. So the vertical shots that you see, they're all taken with the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. They're glasses I have from work that I used for a conference, and then I still had them with me to play around with them. And actually, they're quite amazing. Like, the quality is quite good. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it's vertical, but it's quite amazing to have these POV shots where it's not very clearly visible that you're actually recording. So especially at the concert where we are right now, so the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard concert, we arrived, had some food, and the food was actually really great, like above what you're used to of like normal food at like these kind of venues. But there was this very good burger we had, and the fries, the sauce, and also reasonably priced. I think paying 16 euros for a burger, fries, and some drink, that is quite good. First was Stingray, the pre-act before King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and it was in this beautiful Lukiškių Prison 2.0. I didn't know King Gizzard that well. I knew like a few songs, and the main reason why we went is because a lot of our friends went on this holiday, and personally I didn't think like this will be the highlight of the holiday, but it definitely was. It was really great to actually be at a concert of a band that you don't even know that well. So it all started pretty chill. With Stingray was quite good, and then first few songs, and then actually quite quickly already all of the mosh pits started. And the weather was also really great because 3 friends of ours, they went the day before as well, and then it was really pouring. And even though they still liked it, like having a concert outside with this kind of nice weather, and the music, songs, the audience, everything was actually really great. And then especially also being able to record all of this with these POV shots with the glasses. A lot of my friends did some crowd surfing. Took out the synthesizer, which was also quite nice. And then even more crazy things, but yeah. So that was the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard concert. Had a lot of fun. I think the band was really amazing, the crowd, there were so many mosh pits, it was just very funny and amazing and great at the same time. And even though, of course, these mosh pits always they do look very dangerous and unfriendly, I do have to say that there was a lot of respect for each other, and if someone fell, they would pick them up, and it was all very respectful. So this King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, it's part of their Europe Residency Tour 2025, which they have in Portugal, Spain, Greece, Bulgaria and Lithuania. So this is after the concert. We walked to the city center, had some food and some drinks. Some of us went partying and then some of us went home, which is me. And then the next day, going for another filter coffee and a cinnamon bun, taking a taxi back to the airport. That was 4 days in Lithuania, in Vilnius. It was really amazing. I hope you liked this video. See you in the next one. Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.